Right. So electrochemical cells are classified into two types. Electrochemical cells. We have completed this. Tell me. So electrochemical cells are two types. What are those? Electrolytic cell and galvanic cell. So what are electrolytic cell? The cell, the device which convert electrical energy into chemical energy. Now so far what we have studied in two classes, that is only till Faraday first law and Faraday second law. So what is electrolysis? Faraday first law, Faraday second law, all these comes under electrolytic cells. Okay, in electrolytic cell we have studied, so when current is passed, okay, what are the product is obtained at cathode, what are the product obtained at anode, and we also studied when current is passed, so how much amount of the substance deposited at cathode and anode. So this concept is covered. Okay, next is second type of electrochemical cells are galvanic cell or voltaic cell. So today class we are going to study what are the galvanic cell, what are the voltaic cell. Then example for galvanic voltaic cell is Daniell cell, and construction working of Daniell cell and related concepts. Okay, now write down galvanic cell. Second type of electrochemical cell is galvanic cell. Okay, tell me, galvanic cell, or they are also called voltaic cell. What are the galvanic cell? The cell which convert chemical energy into electrical energy. Write down the cell which convert electrical energy into chemical energy into electrical energy. The cell which convert chemical energy into electrical energy called galvanic cell or voltaic cell. Okay, so the best example for galvanic cell is Daniell cell. Daniell cell. So what is the construction and working of Daniell cell? Write down example Daniell cell. Next write construction and working of Daniell cell. Construction and working of Daniell cell. Okay, so take the diagram, take fast. So Daniell cell consists of two half cells. It consists of two half cells. One molar take. Okay, right. See, this is a construction of Daniell cell. Listen, so Daniell cell consists of, listen here, so Daniell cell consists of two half cells, oxidation half cell and what, reduction half cell. So this is the oxidation half cell and this is a reduction half cell. So it consists of two half cells. So oxidation half cell, reduction half cell. Right, in oxidation half cell, zinc rod is placed in, or zinc rod is dipped in where? 1 molar zinc sulfate solution. In reduction half cell, copper rod is dipped in, or copper rod is placed in 1 molar copper sulfate solution. Both zinc rod and copper rod are oxidation half cell and reduction half cell externally connected through the voltmeter. Externally connected to the voltmeter and internally connected through the salt bridge, right? This is a salt bridge. Okay, when the circuit is completed, okay, when circuit is completed internally as well as externally, it is observed that current flow in a circuit, right? This is the construction. Next we have working. Okay, listen once again. What is the construction of Daniell cell? Only 2-3 points. One, Daniell cell consists of two half cells. One is a oxidation and second one is reduction half cell. In oxidation half cell, zinc rod is placed in 1 molar zinc sulfate solution. In reduction half cell, copper rod is placed in 1 molar copper sulfate solution. Both oxidation reduction half cell externally connected through the voltmeter and internally connected through the salt bridge. When internally and externally circuit is completed, it is observed that there is a flow of current and flow of electrons will be there. Okay, current flow in a circuit. Next, then what is the working of Daniell cell? Okay, see, in Daniell cell, zinc rod is placed in zinc sulfate solution. Therefore, in Daniell cell, zinc rod undergo oxidation, right? So here, zinc rod undergo oxidation. It gives rise to zinc plus 2 electron. And zinc rod undergo oxidation. It gives rise to zinc plus 2 electron. Those zinc plus 2 ions enter into the where? Solution, and electrons left behind on the zinc rod, therefore it gets negative charge, right? In oxidation half cell, zinc rod undergo oxidation. When zinc rod undergo oxidation, it gives rise to zinc plus 2 electron. Those zinc plus 2 ions enter into the solution, but electrons left behind on the metal, and this metal gets negative charge. Then what about these electrons? So when these electrons are accumulated here, these electrons start moving from zinc rod to copper rod. So they move from zinc rod to copper rod, that is anode to cathode. Where at copper rod, so this copper rod the Cu plus 2 ion present in the solution, because there is a copper sulfate, no, Cu plus 2 and SO4 minus 2 will be there. The Cu plus 2 ions present in the solution, they undergo reduction, that is Cu plus 2 plus 2 electron gives rise to Cu. So this Cu plus 2 convert into Cu, that Cu get deposited on where? Cathode, right? Then as the reaction proceeds, what happened the weight of the zinc rod and what happened weight of copper rod? So as the reaction proceeds, the weight of the zinc rod get decreases, because zinc is dissolving in the zinc sulfate solution, therefore the weight of the zinc rod is decreases. And as the reaction proceeds, the weight of the copper rod slowly increases, because the Cu plus 2 present in the solution get deposited on the copper rod. That's what weight of the copper rod is increases, right? Next, what is the flow of electron? Where to where electron flow? So the flow of electron from where to where? So the flow of electron, that is from anode to cathode, it is electron flow. Then what is the flow of current? It is a opposite direction, right? Cathode to anode is a flow of current I, right? Next, as the reaction proceeds, what happened the concentration of Zn plus 2 ion and what happened concentration of Cu plus 2 ion? As the reaction proceeds, Zn plus 2 ion concentration is increases. Why? Zinc is dissolving in zinc sulfate, no. Zinc is dissolving zinc sulfate. It means zinc producing zinc plus 2 ion. That means concentration of Zn plus 2 goes on increases. And what happened concentration of Cu plus 2 ion? Cu plus 2 ion present in the solution which converts into Cu. It means Cu plus 2 ion concentration goes on decreases as the reaction proceeds. Okay. Then finally, so what about salt bridge? Here salt bridge has very much important. Previously question also appeared in CET recent year, I think in 2 years back. What is a salt bridge and what is the criteria and what is the function? Tell me. So what is the salt bridge here? In this reaction salt bridge is used. Then what is a salt bridge? Here salt bridge is actually U-shaped glass tube, right? It is a U-shaped glass tube which is containing usually saturated solution of that is KNO3 or KCl or K2SO4, potassium sulfate or even ammonium chloride. So salt bridge consists of either KCl, KNO3, K2SO4, ammonium chloride with agar-agar or gelatin. And next, what is the criteria? So criteria for the salt bridge, it means when we use salt bridge, what should be the criteria? There are two important criteria. First one is the electrolyte taken in salt bridge. The electrolyte which is taken in the salt bridge, that must be chemically inert. It should be inert. It means it must not interfere with the cell reaction. For example, KCl. When you take KCl, KCl is a inert. Inert in the sense it is does not react with any other compound. Not that. Inert means KCl, K plus Cl minus ion, they do not interfere with cell reaction. These reactions, they do not react with zinc plus 2, they do not react with Cu plus 2. So in this reaction, it do not interfere. Therefore, the electrolyte taken in the salt bridge should be inert. It should not interfere with cell reactions. Next, one more criteria. Another criteria is the migrating speed or the speed of the cation or mobility of cation. The mobility of the cation or migration speed of the cation should be equals to migration speed of anion, like K plus NO3 minus. Both are having approximately same migratory speed, means migration, what is it? Mu plus mobility. The mobility of the cation should be equal to mobility of anion. Therefore, if these two conditions fulfilled, then it can be taken as a salt bridge, the solution in salt bridge. Next is function. So what are the functions of the salt bridge? Why salt bridge is used? What is its function? Okay, first one, the first important function is salt bridge complete the circuit internally. Yes or no? No, externally it is connected what? Voltmeter. This voltmeter connect the salt bridge, connect the circuit externally. But how the internally circuit is completing? It's because of salt bridge. Therefore, 1. Salt bridge complete the circuit internally. For example, if there is no salt bridge, can you expect the completion of circuit? No. That means there is no flow of electron. Therefore, it complete the circuit internally. Next, second one, it prevent the formation of liquid junction potential. Okay, what is liquid junction potential? We'll study electrode potential topic. But remember, it prevent the, I think you might have studied even physics also, liquid junction potential. So it prevent the formation of liquid junction potential. If the liquid junction potential is, it's obtained, what happened? There is a flow of current is not possible, flow of electron is not possible. So electron get struck. That means they cannot move, electron cannot move. Okay, therefore the formation of liquid junction potential can be prevented by this. And it also prevent the mixing of these two solutions. Yes or no? Zinc sulfate, copper sulfate. Okay, actually this salt bridge, it is connecting these two. Salt bridge connecting zinc sulfate and copper sulfate without mixing these two. It means it prevent the mixing of zinc sulfate and mixing of copper sulfate. And fourth one is it complete the circuit. It's complete the circuit. That's what, no? Tell me, what are the 4 applications? Tell me. It maintain the electrical neutrality. So therefore, this salt bridge also maintain the electrical neutrality. What is the meaning of electrical neutrality? See, as the reaction proceeds, what happened? The zinc plus 2 ions are increasing now. Zinc plus 2 ion concentration increases. Zinc plus 2 concentration increases. It means cation increases. Here is, as the reaction proceeds, cations decreases. Which is increases? Anion increases. Here concentration of cation increases. Here concentration of anion is increases. Okay, but what is the function of salt bridge? Salt bridge makes the electrical neutrality. Therefore, when cation increases, the anions from the salt bridge enter here. So what are the anion of salt bridge here? If you take K plus and Cl minus enter here. Okay, by entering Cl minus, it balance the cation and anion. Next, here, as the reaction proceeds, the concentration of Cu plus 2 decreases, and which is increases? SO4 minus 2, anion. Okay, the concentration of anion increases, therefore again it is a imbalancing the charge. Therefore, when the concentration of anion increases, the cation from the salt bridge, K plus, enter into the solution. Therefore, K plus enter into solution and it balance the sulfate ion. Okay, therefore in this way it maintains the electrical neutrality. Now you might have understood why the ionic mobility of cation should be equal to anion. What is the second condition is, while taking salt bridge, one is it should be electrically, it should be chemically inert. It should be inert. It means electrolyte must not interfere with these cell reactions. Okay. And second important condition is the ionic mobility of the cation should be equals to ionic mobility of anion. That means migration speed. The migration speed of the cation should be equal to anion. Why? This is because if one cation enter here, at the same time one anion must be enter here. This is possible if they have both are having same speed. That is migration speed. If the migration speed is different, there is again unbalancing. Okay, so that is the reason the migration speed of the cation should be equal to migration speed of anion. Okay, they just balance the charge, they do not interfere with any cell reaction, any reaction. Here K plus, no, even though K plus is there, sulfate is there, they do not form any product. Okay, it balances the ion, here balance the charge. Okay, so this is the functions of salt bridge. Okay, so and next finally, what is the reaction at cathode and anode cell reaction? Tell me, what is the reaction at cathode? Reaction at cathode. Come on, tell me. So at cathode reduction takes place, no? Cu plus 2 electron gives rise to Cu. What is the reaction? At cathode always reduction. Next, reaction at anode. Zn gives rise to Zn plus 2 plus 2 electron. It is oxidation. What is the cell reaction? Cell reaction is nothing but right overall reaction. Tell me. 2 electron cancel. Cu plus 2 plus Cu plus Zn plus 2. Cell reaction. Next, what is the cell potential? In this equation, reaction, how much electric current will be produced? It is a 1.1 volt electric current. It is fixed. If this is the condition applied, like 1 molar zinc copper, in this condition or in Daniell cell, 1.10 volt electric current is produced. So what is the flow of electron from where to where? Zinc rod to copper rod, that is anode to cathode. But in case of electrolytic cell, cathode to anode we have studied, right? Cathode to anode, where? No, internally, cathode to anode. Whereas in case of what is the flow of current here? Cathode to anode. In case of there, anode to cathode, it's quite opposite. And there, the charge of the cathode is negative. Here is positive. There, charge of the anode is positive. Here is negative. And moreover, this is the spontaneous process. Yes or no? Whether we are using any external current, external force? No, we are not using any force. We just connected zinc rod, copper rod externally, internally. Automatically electrons start flowing. Therefore, this is a spontaneous process. Delta G is negative. Whereas in case of electrolytic cell, we have passed the current. No, external force is applying. That is a endothermic process, and delta G is positive. It is a spontaneous, that is non-spontaneous. Okay, right. Galvanic cell, example at Daniell cell. Daniell cell. It consists of two half cells. It consists of two half cells. One oxidation half cell, two reduction half cell. One oxidation half cell, two reduction half cell. Next point. In oxidation half cell, zinc rod is placed in oxidation half cell. Zinc rod is placed in 1 molar zinc sulfate solution. 1 molar zinc sulfate solution, comma. In reduction half cell, copper rod is placed in 1 molar copper sulfate solution. 1 molar copper sulfate solution. Next point. Both oxidation half cell and reduction half cell, internally connected through salt bridge, and externally connected through voltmeter. When circuit is completed, when the circuit is completed, when circuit is completed, it is observed that when circuit is completed, it is observed that current flow in a circuit. When circuit is completed, it is observed that current flow in a circuit. Next point, in oxidation half cell, zinc rod undergo oxidation. In oxidation half cell, zinc rod undergo oxidation to form what? Zn+2 and electron. To form Zn+2 and electron. These Zn+2 enter into the solution. These Zn+2 ions enters into the solution. These Zn+2 ions enters into the solution, and electrons left behind on the metal, zinc metal or zinc rod, comma, electrons left behind on the zinc rod. Hence zinc rod gets negative charge and it acts as, hence zinc rod gets negative charge and it acts as what? Anode. Next point, these free electrons move towards the copper electrode. These free electrons move towards the copper electrode, where Cu+2 ions from the copper sulfate solution, Cu+2 ions from the copper sulfate solution undergo reduction to form Cu, which is deposited at cathode. Okay, so take this: reaction at cathode, reaction at anode, cell reaction, cell potential. Cell potential is 1.10 volt. Next, right, salt bridge. It is a U-shaped glass tube. On salt bridge there is a previously many time question asked at different exams. Question based on salt bridge is very important. You write important only. Salt bridge, it is a U-shaped glass tube. It is a U-shaped glass tube containing a saturated solution of KCl, a saturated solution of KCl or KNO3 or K2SO4 or ammonium chloride with agar agar and gelatin, with agar agar or gelatin. Next point, two endings of the salt bridge. Okay, these two endings, see, the two endings of the salt bridge is plugged with porous materials like, two endings of the salt bridge plugged with porous materials like cotton or glass wool. Cotton or glass wool. Next, criteria for salt bridge. Criteria for salt bridge. So what are the criteria? No. One is, yeah, the electrolyte taken in salt bridge should be chemically inert. It means it should not interfere with cell reaction. So what is the second criteria? Yeah, the migration speed of the cation should be equal to anion. If these two conditions fulfilled, then you can take as a salt bridge, right? One. Criteria for salt bridge. One, the electrolyte taken in salt bridge, the electrolyte taken in salt bridge should be chemically inert. Should be chemically inert. That is, it must not interfere with, it must not interfere with cell reactions. 2, the migration speed of the cation should be equals to migration speed of anion. The migration speed of the cation should be equals to migration speed of the anion. Next, functions. Functions of salt bridge. 1, it complete the circuit internally. It complete the circuit internally. 2, it prevent the formation of liquid junction potential. It prevent the formation of liquid junction potential. 3, it prevent the mixing of two electrolytic solutions. It prevent the mixing of two electrolytic solutions. Next is, it maintains the electrical neutrality in two half cells. It maintains the electrical neutrality in two half cells. Okay, so take one note. Write down all of you. In Daniell cell, okay, 1, what is the flow of electron? Tell me, what is the flow of electron from anode to cathode? Write down. Anode to cathode, that is zinc rod to copper rod. Next, in Daniell cell, what is the flow of current? It is cathode to anode, copper to zinc rod. Next, now tell me, next is As the reaction proceeds, okay, listen here. As the reaction proceeds, what happened the weight of the zinc rod and what happened weight of copper rod? The weight of the zinc rod is decreases and weight of the copper rod is as the reaction proceed, weight of zinc rod decreases and weight of copper rod is increases. Next, fourth point. Then what about the concentrations? As the reaction proceeds, what happened the concentration of Zn plus 2 and what happened concentration of Cu plus 2 ion? Zn plus 2 is increases, Cu plus 2 return. As the reaction proceeds, weight of concentration of Zn plus 2 increases and Cu plus 2 decreases. Next, fifth one. As the reaction proceeds, so which is dissolved, which is deposited? So zinc rod is dissolved. Zinc rod dissolved wherein? Zinc sulfate solution, and copper get deposited on copper rod. Okay. So as the reaction proceeds, zinc rod dissolved in zinc sulfate solution. As the reaction proceeds, zinc rod is dissolved in zinc sulfate solution and copper get deposited on copper rod. Okay. And what is the current produced in Daniell cell? Daniell cell gives or produces how much electric current? Cell potential is 1.10, right? It produces 1.10 of electric current, volt of electric current. Okay, so it is about Daniell cell. So indirectly they may ask questions based on this. You should remember. Okay, right, next, right? Any doubt here? Any doubt? No. Next, right? When Daniell cell is connected to external battery, right on. When Daniell cell is connected to external battery, again there are three conditions or three cases. Okay. When Daniell cell is connected to Daniell cell connected to or connected with external battery. Okay, so take this diagram. In Daniell cell, let us take external battery first. This is external battery. And Daniell cell is this. Right. Okay, right. So this setup is a Daniell cell. It is as usual. Tell me. It is 1 molar zinc sulfate solution. Here is 1 molar copper sulfate solution. Yes or no? Then this is zinc rod and it is copper rod, and it is a salt bridge, that is also same salt bridge, and it is a, what is this? Voltmeter. Okay, now let's see, there are 3 conditions. When Daniell cell is connected to external battery, there are 3 conditions. 1, when the battery potential is equal to Daniell cell potential, when battery potential is less and battery potential is more. Okay. Case 1, if external battery potential is equals to Daniell cell potential. What is the Daniell cell? 1.10 volt. Okay. Now let's see. First case, if the external battery potential, okay, it is a external battery, this battery potential is equal to Daniell cell potential, what happened? Now what, usually what happen in Daniell cell reactions? If there is no battery, you just imagine, if there is no battery, what happens? Zinc undergo oxidation, copper undergo reduction, and there is a flow of current from electron from zinc rod to copper rod, and flow of current from copper rod to zinc rod. This takes place as usually. But when externally battery is connected with this Daniell cell, that battery potential is equals to 1.10 volt. Then what happened? So when battery potential equal to our Daniell cell potential, then what happened? There is no oxidation takes place, no reduction takes place, there is no flow of current, no flow of electron. It means 1. What is the flow of electrons? No flow of electron. Why? Both the potentials are equal? No. One is potential is, no, that is battery potential is 1.10, and as well as our Daniell is also produce same potential. Both are opposite direction, right? That's what, there is a no flow of electron. 2, no flow of current, take down. And what are the chemical reaction? Where oxidation, where reduction? There is no oxidation, no reduction. Okay, so where is the question of cathode ion reduction? There is no chemical reaction takes place. At cathode and anode. Okay, next, case 2. If battery potential is less than 1.10 volt. Okay, in second case battery connected, but now battery potential is less. Battery potential less compared to what? Daniell cell. When the battery potential is less than the Daniell cell, as usual reaction takes place. How the reaction takes place in cathode anode? The same reaction takes place as usually. What is the flow of electron from anode to cathode? Flow of current cathode to anode. Oxidation same, reduction same, everything as usual takes place. Okay, therefore 1, what is the flow of electron? Anode to cathode. 2, what is the flow of current? Cathode to anode. And where the reduction and which is oxidation. Now anode is zinc rod, no? Zinc rod. Therefore, what is the oxidation? Zinc gives rise to zinc plus 2 electron. That means oxidation takes place at zinc rod. Zinc rod undergo oxidation. Next, what is the cathode? Cathode is copper, and reduction takes place at cathode. Okay, all the reaction takes place as usually how we have studied in Daniell cell. No change. But case 3 is important. Tell me, in case 3, if the battery potential is greater than the our Daniell cell potential, yes, if battery potential is greater than Daniell cell potential, what is the Daniell cell potential? 1.10 volt. Now tell me, if it is our battery potential is more, then what reaction takes place and what happens? If this battery potential is more, then all the reaction takes place just reverse. Okay, then what is the first one? Flow of electron. It is earlier anode to cathode, it become cathode to anode. What is the flow of current? It was cathode to actually anode, but it become now anode to cathode. Then which is anode, which is cathode? Now anode actually zinc, it become copper. And which is the actually cathode? Copper, but now it become anode, and that is it become zinc now. That means all the reaction takes place reverse, exactly reverse, right? Therefore, 1, flow of electron, right on. 2, flow of current. So flow of electron cathode to anode, and it is anode to cathode. Next, third one, actually zinc is a anode, it become now cathode. Cathode is zinc rod, anode is copper rod. So therefore, what is the reaction? Cathode zinc, no, reduction. It means Cu plus 2 electron gives us to zinc plus 2 electron gives us to zinc, and it is anode. Cu gives us to Cu plus 2 electron. Okay, so this is how all the reaction takes place reverse. Next is representation of Daniell cell. So how Daniell cell is represented? In the representation of any cell, oxidation half cell should be written first, no? Zinc vertical line, zinc plus 2 double vertical line, and Cu plus 2 again vertical line Cu. This is a oxidation half cell and it is reduction half cell. And what is the cell potential? So therefore E cell equal to 1.10 volt. Okay, so that is the representation of Daniell cell. So next is electrode potential. So what is electrode potential and what is standard electrode potential and factors affecting on electrode potential. Now write electrode potential. Tell me, what is electrode potential? We have studied Daniell cell. In Daniell cell, zinc rod is placed in where? Zinc sulfate, no. It is zinc rod, copper rod or zinc rod. Okay, take copper rod. Copper rod placed in copper sulfate solution. And similarly, zinc rod also placed in zinc sulfate solution. Now tell me, when copper rod is placed in its own solution, what happens? Its own solution is copper sulfate. When zinc rod also placed in its own solution, what is its own solution? Zinc sulfate. When metal is placed in its own solution, there is a potential difference is developed. Where? On zinc rod or copper rod. The potential difference is developed at electrode when it is placed in its own solution. That too, when the metal and its solution both are in equilibrium. Right? That is called what? Electrode potential. Then how do you define electrode potential? The potential difference developed at electrode. The potential difference developed at electrode when it is contact with the solution of its own ion, and electrode as well as solution both are in equilibrium, is called electrode potential. Right? Then in other way, electrode potential can also be defined as it is the tendency of metal or tendency of any electrode, the tendency of an electrode to lose electron, even gain electron. Okay, when the metal is contact with its own solution, its condition is its own solution should be there. It means, for example, you can take even zinc rod and tell me, when zinc rod is placed in its own solution, it is a zinc rod, it is placed in its own solution is what? Zinc sulfate. Come on, tell me, when zinc rod is placed in its own solution, what happened? Zinc rod undergo oxidation reduction. Whether zinc rod is undergo either oxidation or reduction? Oxidation. Okay, it is more electropositive metal, it undergo oxidation. So zinc rod undergo oxidation, it means zinc gives rise to zinc plus 2 electron. Therefore, when zinc undergo oxidation, again the potential difference will be developed. Potential difference will be developed where? On the metal. That potential difference is called nothing but electrode potential. Therefore, the potential difference developed at electrode when metal and solution both are equilibrium. Metal as well as its solution should be equilibrium, and metal should be dipped in its own solution, called electrode potential. Or electrode potential nothing but tendency of an electrode to either lose electron or gain electron also. So some electrode have tendency to lose electron. For example, zinc rod. Zinc rod has tendency to lose electron. Copper rod, it has tendency to gain electron. Therefore, the tendency of an electrode to either lose electron or gain electron is also called electrode potential. Okay. Therefore, the definition of electrode potential is this. Next important is electrode potential is a intensive property. Okay. It is a intensive property. Since it is a intensive property, it does not depend on the mass of the electrode. For example, if I write a copper electrode, the electrode potential of copper, E copper equal to, it is a plus 0.34 volt. We will study later why. Okay, the electrode potential of copper is plus 0.34 volt. Then should I mention here 1 gram, 2 gram, 3 gram? No. Let it be 1 gram, 10 gram, 20 gram, whatever may be the mass. So therefore, whatever may be the mass of the copper, the electrode potential of copper is this much only, because it is a intensive property. Since electrode potential is a intensive property, it does not depend on the mass of the electrode. Whatever the mass of electrode you take 1 kg electrode or 10 kg electrode or 1 gram electrode, the copper electrode is potential is same, fixed, because it is a intensive property. For example, question is like this: the electrode potential of 1 gram copper is equal to plus 0.34 volt. What is the electrode potential of 10 gram copper electrode? It will be same. When mass changes, electrode potential does not change. Next, second one. Then what are the, and it is denoted by E. Denoted by E. Next is standard electrode potential. We also again study standard electrode potential. What is the meaning of standard electrode potential? See, if the electrode potential is measured under standard condition, the electrode potential is measured under the standard condition. What is the standard condition? Temperature and pressure, no? If it is a gas, pressure. If it is a solution, concentration. Tell me, what is the temperature, standard temperature? So we discussed that standard temperature for gases 0 degrees. The standard temperature for solids and liquids, solutions, it is 25 degrees Celsius or 298 Kelvin. Therefore, here we study solution, right? Even in solution topic we have studied solution only. Therefore, for solutions we take 25 degrees Celsius or 298 Kelvin is a standard temperature. Therefore, in electrochemistry, what is the standard temperature? 25. In case of gaseous state, we studied in first PUC. Gaseous state, or we use ideal gas equation, PV equal to nRT equation, where also we use standard temperature. What is the standard temperature there? There 0 degrees. Therefore, 0 degrees is the standard temperature for gases, whereas 25 or 298 Kelvin is the for liquids and solids. Therefore, standard temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. And what is the concentration? Standard concentration we take, it is a 1 molar, or standard pressure we take 1 atm. Therefore, now if electrode potentials are measured under standard conditions, then that is called what? Standard electrode potential. Okay, then tell me now, what is electrode potential? Electrode, definition of electrode potential: the potential developed at electrode when electrode is contact with its own solution. When electrode is contact with its own solution and electrode and solution are in equilibrium, then what is the standard electrode potential? You just maintain the standard conditions. How do you define? It is also same definition. The potential developed at electrode, the potential developed at electrode, or the potential difference is developed at electrode when metal is contact with or electrode is contact with 1 molar solution, right? When electrode is contact with 1 molar solution of its own ion at what condition? Temperature 298 Kelvin, right? At 1 molar concentration and 298 Kelvin temperature, called standard electrode potential. Okay, in definition we should add these two words, that's it. Okay, there is no change. We should add 1 molar concentration and 298 Kelvin temperature, that is called standard electrode potential. Then standard electrode potential is denoted by E naught. It is denoted by E naught. Then what are the factors affecting on electrode potential? This is also important. Previously question was appeared. There are 3 factors affect the electrode potential. Right. So factors affecting on electrode potential. So there are 3 factors. 1, nature of electrode. Nature of electrode. 2, temperature, and 3, concentration. Okay. So there are 3 factors affects. 1, nature of electrode, not mass of electrode, not quantity of electrode, nature of electrode. So nature of electrode also decides the electrode potential. It means there are many metals and many non-metals. Is it all element having same electrode potential? No. The electrode potential of copper is plus 0.34 volt, that is we called SRP. The SRP of zinc equal to minus 0.76 volt. It means the SRP of copper is different, SRP of zinc is different, and SRP of silver is plus 0.80 volt. It means different elements having, different metals having different electrode potentials, different SRP values. It means it is decided by the nature of metal or nature of electrode. Then what is the relation between nature and its SRP? So remember, generally SRP value is inversely proportional to electropositivity. In general, there are some other condition also, but in general SRP value is inversely proportional to electropositivity. It means higher the electropositivity, ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಇದೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್, ಇದು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, right? So electropositivity is inversely proportional to SRP. It means higher the electropositivity, less will be the SRP. For example, you see copper and zinc. Okay, the SRP value of copper is 0.34 plus 0.34. SRP value of zinc is minus 0.76. Then tell me, among copper zinc, which has more electropositivity? Since zinc has more electropositivity compared to copper, the electrode SRP value of zinc is less, copper is more. Next, among silver and copper, which one has more electropositivity? Copper, because SRP value less, more electropositivity. For example, lithium, we know that lithium is the most electropositive. Tell me, so what is the lithium? It is a minus 3.08 approximately. Okay, minus 3.08 volt. It means lithium is the most electropositive metal, therefore it has least SRP value. Okay, and fluorine, you know, fluorine is the most electronegative. It means least electropositive. So fluorine value is, it is a plus 2.87 volt. So 2.87 volt means it is a least electropositive, means most electronegative. No, fluorine is the most electronegative element, means least electropositive. Least electropositive, therefore highest SRP. Therefore in general SRP value is inversely proportional to electropositivity. Okay, next is temperature. So what is the relation between temperature SRP? So that the relation between temperature and SRP is studied by Nernst equation. Okay, we'll study next class. So Nernst equation, it is in general directly proportional. So therefore temperature is directly proportional to SRP. Higher the temperature, more will be the SRP. Next is concentration. About concentration also we will study in Nernst equation, that is also generally directly proportional. Therefore concentration also directly proportional to SRP. As the concentration increases, SRP value is increases. These are the factors affecting on electrode potential. So what is electrode potential, and what is standard electrode potential, and what are the factors? Understand? Right, quickly write the note. Electrode potential. Right, the potential difference is developed at electrode. The potential difference is developed at electrode. The potential difference is developed at electrode when an electrode is equilibrium with solution of its own ion. When electrode is equilibrium with solution of its own ion, called electrode potential. Next, it is denoted by capital E. Next, it is a intensive property, underline important. It is a intensive property, that is it does not depends on, it is a intensive property, that is it does not depends on what? Mass of electrode. It does not depends on mass of electrode. Next, standard electrode potential. Standard electrode potential. The potential difference is developed at electrode. The potential difference is developed at electrode. The potential difference is developed at electrode when electrode is equilibrium with, when an electrode is equilibrium with, now what we should write? When electrode is equilibrium with 1 molar solution of its own ion. 1 molar, 1 capital M solution of its own ion, and at 298 Kelvin. Only we should mention these two. And at 298 Kelvin temperature, called standard electrode potential. Called standard electrode potential. It is denoted by E naught. It is denoted by E naught. Next, factors affecting on electrode potential. Factors affecting on electrode potential. 1. Nature of electrode. 1. Nature of electrode. Take this. SRP value is inversely proportional to electropositivity. SRP inversely proportional to electropositivity. But say SRP value not only depends on electropositivity, it also depends on hydration energy. Okay, there are many other factors also, even ionization enthalpy. This is in general. In general, it is inversely proportional to electropositivity. So suppose if it is depends on only electropositivity, in all the periodic table, which element has highest electropositivity? Very good, cesium. Cesium has highest electropositivity. Cesium supposed to have lowest, no? Ashatane? Cesium supposed to have lowest SRP value, but the SRP value of lithium is lowest because it depends on hydration energy. The hydration energy of lithium is more compared to cesium. Okay, that's what SRP value, it depends on many other factors, particularly hydration energy and ionization energy. But in general, this is what we have written in general. If you compare D block element, S block element, like that. So among D block element, S block element, tell me which one has more electropositivity? S block. Since S block element having more electropositivity, less SRP. It is in general statement. You cannot identify like particular element. Okay. So therefore, take generally SRP value inversely proportional to electropositivity. Take some example. These values, you know. Now here onwards, whatever SRP values comes, you have to by heart it. Yakandre even in exam also you will get only few examples. Ishte baradu. In 4 ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 4 ಇದಾವೆ, ಆ 4-5 ಬರೋದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ಗೋಸ್ಕರ ನೀವು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ನೋಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು ಕೊಡಲ್ದಂಗೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಇಟ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, ಟು ಟೆಂಪರೇಚರ್. Temperature directly proportional to SRP. 3. Concentration. Concentration also directly proportional to SRP. Single electrode or half cell. So what is single electrode and what is half cell? Now we have studied Daniell cell. Daniell cell consists of how many half cell? 2 half cell. What are those? Oxidation half cell and reduction half cell. Then what is the single electrode half cell? Half cell nothing but, single electrode nothing but, an electrode is dipped in or placed in its own solution. For example, take this is a copper electrode. Okay, when copper electrode placed in copper sulfate solution. Tell me, when the copper electrode placed in copper sulfate solution, whether at copper rod, is it oxidation takes place, reduction takes place? Reduction takes place. At copper, reduction takes place. Next, similarly, let us take zinc rod is placed in zinc sulfate solution. Right. So when zinc rod placed in zinc sulfate solution, so which reaction takes place? Oxidation takes place. Because electropositivity, the electropositivity of zinc is more. That's what zinc undergo oxidation, and its electropositivity less, it undergo reduction. And later we study SRP based on SRP. If you see the SRP value of zinc is how much? Minus 0.76. So remember, if any element has negative SRP, that must undergo oxidation. Okay. So after studying, after SRP, we will study like this. But here we have not studied to SRP. That's what I am telling. Electropositivity. The electropositivity of zinc is less. Sorry, zinc is more. Zinc has more electropositivity. Therefore, it undergo oxidation. It undergo reduction. And therefore, when metal is dipped in its own solution, when electrode is dipped in its own solution, that is called what? Half cell. Now this is a zinc half cell. It is a copper half cell. They are also called what? Single electrode. It is a zinc single electrode. It is a copper single electrode. Single electrode nothing but is an electrode is dipped in its own solution. There must be only half cell. Both are same, half cell, single electrode. When there is a single electrode, then only you will get half cell. Where there is a half cell, there is a single electrode. Meaning is same. Okay. Therefore, what is the meaning of single electrode half cell? An electrode is placed in solution of its own ion is called half cell or nothing but single electrode. Okay, right on. An electrode is placed in solution of its own ion. An electrode is placed in solution of its own ion called single electrode or half cell. Okay, example, zinc placed in zinc sulfate, copper placed in copper sulfate, silver placed in silver nitrate. All these are half cells. But what is the meaning of cell? Cell always contain two half cell. Which half cells? Oxidation and reduction. In oxidation half cell, which reaction takes place? Oxidation. Reduction half cell? Okay, right, one more point. Cell consists of two half cells. Cell consists of two half cells, that is oxidation half cell and reduction half cell. Cell consists of two half cells, that is oxidation half cell and reduction half cell. Okay, fine. Next is differences between galvanic and electrolytic cell. Let's see some important differences. Come on, tell me. So what are the differences between the galvanic cell and electrolytic cell? One, in galvanic cell, chemical energy converts into electrical energy. Chemical energy converted into electrical energy. In case of electrolytic cell, electrical energy converts into chemical energy. Right? Next. Then what about spontaneity? Among galvanic cell and electrolytic cell, where the where the reactions are spontaneous. Right. So therefore here is it takes place spontaneously. So reaction takes place spontaneously. Here is reaction takes place non-spontaneously. So delta G equal to negative. Here delta G is positive. Next tell me here. What is the charge of the cathode? Charge of cathode is positive. What is the charge of anode? Negative. So in galvanic cell, charge of cathode is positive, charge of anode is negative. Then what about here? It is reverse. Here charge of cathode is negative, charge of anode is positive. Next, what is the flow of electron? Flow of electron, flow of current. So what is the flow of electron? It is anode to cathode. Through the solution, no? Here is cathode to okay, sorry, galvanic, no, externally anode to cathode, and current is cathode to anode. Here is cathode to anode, anode to cathode. It's quite opposite. Okay, next, right, oxidation potential and reduction potential. Oxidation potential and reduction potential. So what is oxidation potential and what is reduction potential? Okay, now so far we have studied what is potential, right? What is potential, that is what is electrode potential and what is standard electrode potential. But electrode potentials are two types. There are two types of electrode potential. One is a oxidation potential, second one is reduction potential. So what is oxidation potential? Oxidation potential is the potential developed at electrode by the process of oxidation. For example, when metal is dipped in its own solution, that metal may undergo oxidation, it may undergo what? Reduction. If it is undergo oxidation, again potential will be developed. That is called oxidation potential. Can you tell me example for oxidation potential? Zinc, very good. Zinc electrode. When zinc electrode is placed in its own solution, zinc sulfate, zinc electrode undergo oxidation. So during oxidation, again potential difference is developed on zinc rod, that is called oxidation potential. Okay. Then similarly, reduction potential. The potential developed at electrode by the process of reduction, that is called reduction potential. For example, copper rod. When copper rod is placed in copper sulfate solution, on copper rod reduction takes place. So due to reduction, again potential will be developed. That potential is called what? Reduction potential. Therefore, potentials are two types. Potential may develop due to oxidation. Potential may develop due to reduction. Therefore, if the potential is developed due to oxidation, that is called oxidation potential. If the potential developed due to reduction is called reduction potential. But according to IUPAC, according to IUPAC convention, IUPAC says that we must use only standard reduction potential. We should not use oxidation potential, right? So therefore, IUPAC suggested that, IUPAC says that use only SRP values, that is standard reduction potential. Even metal undergo oxidation, use its standard reduction potential only, don't use standard oxidation potential. But So we, according to IUPAC convention, we must use only standard reduction potential. But can you get oxidation potential? Once you know the standard reduction potential from the SRP values, you can get the standard oxidation potential. How? By changing the sign. For example, the standard reduction potential SRP, the standard reduction potential of copper is equals to plus 0.34 volt. Okay. Standard reduction potential, but standard condition. The reduction potential in standard condition is plus 0.34 volt. Then what is the standard oxidation potential? You will get minus 0.34 volt, that is a SOP, standard oxidation potential. It means once you know the standard reduction potential, it is possible to get standard oxidation potential by changing the sign. For example, the standard reduction potential SRP of zinc is how much? Minus 0.76 volt. It is a fixed value. And what is its SOP? It is a plus 0.76 volt. So like that conversion is possible, but in practice we use only SRP values. We should not use SOP values. Wherever required, you can change, you can convert, and you can take it. But in generally, use only SRP values. In problem and all, everywhere we use only SRP values. We don't use SOP. But wherever required, we take it and we use it. But in general, writing and all, we write only SRP values. Okay. So we shall continue next class.